Hey, this is Aditya and I'll be presenting to you our SIH submission for the problem statement 1721. Okay, so our submission revolves around detecting whether an athlete has engaged in doping, right? So our solution will work based on 5 parameters. The parameters being, the first is your medical data analysis, obviously. The second is your wearable vitals monitoring, then your social network analysis, and then travel and financial records analysis. Okay, so first your medical data analysis. This is your the most basic as well as the most important parameter. Obviously your blood work is the biggest indicator whether something is off, right? So we'll take up biological profile, all the medical records, and we'll compare the each entry with its standard value. If anything seems off, it will be flagged. Moving on, we have our wearable vitals monitoring. Every athlete will be mandated to put on a wearable for a specific time before the actual date of tournament, and we'll constantly take in real time and info about their let's say heartbeat, heart rate, and their oxygen levels. If anything goes off uh, in outside of the training schedule, then it will be flagged. Then we have a social network analysis. For this, we have set up a threshold. If an athlete has social media followers greater than 15k, then we will ask him to provide us with his social media handles, and then we will generate follower to follower graphs for that particular athlete. If a follower to follower graph for an athlete converges to some shady individual who has some questionable past according to the databases that we are taking details from, then that particular athlete will be flagged. Also, we will run image analysis on the social media pictures that the athlete has put up in his account. For example, let's say we'll take up an image from the December 2023 and an image from March 2024. If we'll compare both these images, if the body structure of an athlete has changed a lot in such a short span of time, then it is an indicator that the chances are high that athlete has engaged in some unethical activity, right? So this will also be kept in the context, right? So moving on, we have our financial record analysis. In our financial record analysis, we will take up banking records of the athlete and other relevant data. So we will analyze his spending behavior. For example, let's say his spending behavior is very cautious, and then suddenly his spending spikes up, and he's spending it on some medical related procedure, then also it can be considered as an indicator for some unethical activity, right? Also, we will have every transaction analyzed, and if any of the transaction is found to be linked to some shady individual, then also it will be flagged. Then we have travel record analysis. Okay, so we have already predefined doping hotspots based on the databases entry that we already have with us, right? So if a particular athlete is found to visit those particular doping hotspots frequently, then also it is an indicator that he might be engaging in some unethical activity. So all these were parameters. One of the parameter is given a higher weightage because it is obvious that medical data should have higher weightage, right? So based on these parameters, we will generate a score out of 5. The scores will result into alerts levels, different levels of alerts, those being high, medium, and low. And then this was our main flow. Apart from this, we will have a whistleblower system. Whistleblower system is meant for users of this platform to, you know, alert the authorities or our system if they think an athlete is engaging in doping or other unethical activity, right? So obviously these reportings will be anonymous. We will not disclose the identity of the user, and if for every submission, and analysis will be done to identify whether the evidence that was submitted is real or not. If the evidence is found to be real, then that particular submission for a particular athlete will lead to a system analyzing the details of all these parameters for that particular athlete. Okay, so that was our solution for the problem statement 1721. Thank you very much.